What's up, cretins? What's up, creeps? My name is Chris. I'm the only person talking horror on the internet. Buckle up. We're talking Longlegs today. So I want you to be as blind as possible going into this movie. So I am going to discuss no plot points and be beyond surfacey. I'm actually going to encourage you to swipe away because I don't even want you to have a surfacey review. But I do realize that some people need something more than we've been given and don't want any kind of accidental spoilers peeking through. So I'm gonna do my damnedest to provide that. I promise you no spoilers. First off, your TLDR haiku review. A dark and twisted mystery that drags you through, kicking and screaming. Here's your full spoiler-free review. As prepared as you may be for what you witness in Longlegs, you will never be prepared for what you are about to endure in Longlegs. Shrouded in the mystery of a tremendously effective and wholly ambiguous 6-month marketing campaign, what is debatably 2024's most anticipated horror film has arrived. Harkening back to serial killer thrillers of the 1990s, as told through the lens of modern trauma horror, Longlegs doesn't show you events as much as it invites you to experience them. I don't know what writer-director Osgood Perkins is trying to accomplish here, other than to cause you intentional distress. The tension build in this movie is unreal, and I think it's more extreme tension than actual scares that make Longlegs as effective as it is. You'll realize in the opening scene that Perkins has you caught in his web, he's wrapped you in a silk cocoon, and all you can do is just wait for him to feed. I know a daddy Longlegs is not a spider and doesn't spin webs. It sounds cool, just let me have it. Perkins does things like he almost always shows an open door in shot to remind you of how unsafe you are at any given moment, that anything could just walk right through. There's nothing there to stop it. And this is 100% intentional. When we meet our protagonist, we go through a lengthy scene, void of dialogue, with her heavy, belabored breathing tuned up to 11. Why? Because we as the audience will instinctually begin breathing in the same rhythm and we assimilate physically with her. This is psychological warfare, and this, again, is completely intentional. Micah Monroe etches out another notch into her argument for being the scream queen of the modern era. And in a lot of ways, she does so here by understating herself. She's somewhat of a blank canvas that we as viewers are intended to project onto. And when we do project onto her, we become a part of Longlegs. Were she a stronger, better defined character, she couldn't be all of us all at once. And this is intentional. I don't have to get into Nick Cage. I don't want to get into Nick Cage any further than to tell you that this is further cementation of this being his best era. And maybe that I don't think that anybody else could have played this role. The cinematography is stunning. Everything looks suited for still imagery. But when the camera does move, be it for a cautious approach or a retreat in the name of self-preservation or curious exploration or just kind of lingering, it's always in the name of leading the viewer on a path that we're supposed to be on. Osgood Perkins' fourth directorial effort is both his strongest and his most accessible to date. There's always been a slow burn and, my personal opinion, somewhat plotting nature to his work. This is the first time in his work that I've felt that was more because this material had to breathe than for any other reason. So, I can't go much further into this without giving away too much. I can talk about the music. It's perfect. You know, like, I don't want to take any experience away from it. So that being said, I think what I do now is just I answer the two biggest questions that they're going to be. Number one, does this live up to the hype? Subjectively, I personally avoided the marketing campaign, and I somewhat regret that now, because now I understand that was supposed to be the beginning of my immersion into this world. And it was supposed to culminate in this movie, and I deprived myself of that. Objectively, I don't know that I could be tasked with naming a film that would be more worthy of a similar campaign. Number 2, is this the best horror movie of the year? That's a tough one. For me, it's either this or Maxine right now. And you are fortunate enough to be alive at a time where you can do that as a double feature right now at most theaters across the US, and you can decide that for yourself. I think in this moment, for me personally, I don't think I've seen a more brilliant or original horror movie this year. But it has that same thing that Talk to Me and When Evil Lurks and anything that Brian Bertino has ever done has about it, where I don't know how often I can put myself through this movie. This was playing in 4 out of the 16 theaters at the multiplex that I went to simultaneously. That was just due to demand. I think it maybe overreached its target audience significantly. And I think that was kind of evident based upon the droves of teenagers that I heard either saying that it sucked or trying to gauge their friends' interest and having the whole group land on the non-committal good but missing something. I love that it did reach this many people, but it's too dark and it's too challenging for casual moviegoers who are just looking for an escape from the 100-degree heat. This is award season fare, not only due to its tone, but due to what it accomplishes. I deeply encourage you to go and experience it for yourself. Kindred Spirits, 7. The Dark and the Wicked, Silence of the Lambs. So that's going to do it for today. Do all these things. Let me know what you thought of Longlegs right over here. Please be respectful to others. Don't spoil anything in the comments. I did my damnedest not to. And as always, this is all just a matter of opinion. See it yourself. Remain critical. Support horror.